Linda and Joe had been married for many years, but they had no child. Even though this was a big challenge, their love for each other remained strong and unshaken. Joe truly loved Linda with all his heart. He never allowed their childless situation to affect how he treated her. In fact, he loved her more and more each day. Whenever Linda felt sad, Joe would notice it quickly. He would gently hold her hand, look into her eyes, and say, "My love, please don't let this situation trouble your heart. I believe in God, and I know that one day He will bless us with our own children. You are not alone. I am with you. Please don't cry anymore. It hurts me to see you thinking too much. You are my world, with or without a child. I value you, and I cherish every moment with you. Please don't think yourself into sadness. I love you deeply, and I need you to stay strong for us both." Linda would nod her head gently, trying to smile through her pain. She would say, "Okay, my husband, I've heard you. I will try." But deep inside her, the pain didn't go away. Every night after Joe had fallen asleep, Linda would quietly leave the bedroom and sit in the living room. Alone in the silence of the night, she would cry bitterly. She didn't want Joe to see her tears because she didn't want to add to his burden. Sometimes she would kneel on the floor with tears rolling down her cheeks and whisper to God, "Lord, please remember me. I am tired of waiting. I see other women carry their babies and I wonder, when will it be my turn? Please bless me with the fruit of the womb. Let me feel the joy of motherhood. Please wipe away my tears." While the world around her slept in peace, Linda stayed awake, praying, crying, and hoping. She didn't stop loving Joe, and she appreciated his strength and encouragement. But her heart longed for one thing, a child to call her own. And so, night after night, Linda wept in secret, pouring her heart to God, not knowing that something would soon change in their lives. As the months passed, Linda's pain grew deeper, not only because of her silent prayers, but because of the way the women in the village treated her. Every time she stepped out of her house to fetch water or visit the market, she could feel their eyes watching her. They didn't whisper quietly, they mocked her openly. "Look at her," they would say, loud enough for her to hear. "She's not even a real woman. She's just a man wearing a woman's clothes. What is the use of marriage if you can't even give your husband a child?" These cruel words pierced Linda's heart like a sharp knife. She would try to pretend that she didn't hear them, but as soon as she got back home and shut the door behind her, tears would flow like a river. She made sure Joe never saw her crying. She didn't want to burden him. Instead, she would go to the small corner of their house, kneel down, and cry to God. "God, please, don't let me be mocked like this forever. Please remove this shame from my life. Bless me, even if it's just one child. I'm tired of crying in secret. Please wipe away my tears." One sunny afternoon, while Linda sat alone in her thoughts, her old friend Rose came to visit. Rose was one of the few people who still showed kindness to her. Seeing the sadness in Linda's eyes, Rose asked gently, "My friend, how are you really doing?" At first, Linda tried to smile and say she was fine, but the moment Rose touched her shoulder with love, her heart broke open. She told Rose everything. She told her how the village women mocked her, how she stayed up every night crying after Joe had slept, and how she begged God for just one child, to remove the shame that covered her like a cloth. Rose listened silently, her face full of pity and concern. After a deep breath, Rose said, "Linda, I understand your pain, and I know something that might help. There's a river in our village. People say the gods of that river have power. Many women have gone there to ask for children, and it worked for them. Why don't you go there and pray? Pour out your heart to the gods of the river. I believe they will hear you." Linda's face lit up. For the first time in a long while, she felt hope. She quickly held Rose's hands and said, "Thank you, Rose. Thank you so much. You don't know how much this means to me. I'll go to the river first thing tomorrow morning. I won't waste time. Maybe, just maybe, this will be the end of my shame." Rose smiled and hugged her. "Just go with a clean heart," she said. "Pray and believe. You have nothing to lose." That night, Linda slept with a new kind of peace. For once, she didn't cry. She felt like her answers were waiting for her at the river. But what Linda didn't know was that this journey to the river would not be the beginning of her miracle, but the beginning of something that would leave a deep scar in her heart. A wound. that even time might struggle to heal. Early the next morning, Linda quietly got dressed and stepped out of the house while her husband was still asleep. She didn't tell Joe where she was going. She didn't want him to worry or stop her. In her heart, she believed this was her last hope, and she was ready to do anything to remove her shame. As she walked down the narrow bush path leading to their village river, Linda prayed silently. "O gods of this river, please let today be the day my sorrow ends. Let this be the answer to my tears. Let me not return empty-handed." When she arrived at the riverbank, the place was quiet. Only the sound of the rushing water could be heard. Linda knelt down near the water, raised her face to the sky, and began to cry. She cried bitterly and begged, "O gods of this river, I have come to you. Please, I beg you, bless me with a child. Wipe my shame away. People mock me every day, but I still believe that something good can happen to me. Please don't let my coming here be in vain." Suddenly, something strange happened. A big fish jumped out of the river and dived straight at Linda. Before she could react, the fish did the unthinkable. It attacked her in a way she had never imagined. Linda screamed and shouted for help, but there was no one around to hear her cries. After the horrible incident, the fish disappeared back into the river, leaving Linda on the ground, shaken, confused, and in total disbelief. She sat there for a while, unable to move. Tears rolled down her cheeks as she slowly stood up and walked back home in silence. Her heart was heavy. She couldn't tell her husband. How could she? Who would believe her? So she kept it to herself. Days passed, then weeks. One day, Linda noticed something strange. She had missed her period. After a few more weeks, it became clear. Linda was pregnant. Fear gripped her heart. How? How did this happen? Is this the result of what happened at the river? She shook the thought away. No, maybe God has answered my prayers after all. I won't think about it. At least I'm finally pregnant. When Joe heard the news, he was overjoyed. "I told you, my love," he shouted as he hugged her. "Didn't I say that God will give us our own child? He has done it." Linda smiled, hiding her worry. Joe treated her like an egg, cooking for her, singing to her belly, and talking to the unborn baby every night. 9 months later, the big day came. At the hospital, Linda went into labor. The nurses and doctors rushed to help her, but when she finally gave birth, something terrifying happened. It wasn't a baby. It was a fish. Everyone in the delivery room froze. The nurses screamed. The doctor's jaw dropped. Joe stood in shock, unable to speak. He just stared at Linda and the strange creature. Without saying a word, Joe left the hospital and went straight home. He sat alone in the living room, staring into space, thinking about everything. What went wrong? He asked himself. How could this happen? When Linda came home, she was crying and shaking. Joe looked at her with pain in his eyes and said, "Tell me the truth. That's all I ask. Please tell me what happened." Linda fell on her knees. She cried like never before and confessed everything. The visit to the river, her prayer, the fish, the attack, everything. Joe sat quietly for a while. Then he walked over to her, lifted her from the floor, hugged her tightly, and said, "I now understand. It wasn't your fault. You were just desperate and you were tired of pain. I forgive you, my love." Tears flowed from both their eyes. That day, they held each other tighter than ever before. Months later, something wonderful happened. Linda got pregnant again, but this time, she was sure it was Joe's child. And when the baby finally came, it was a beautiful, healthy baby boy. The whole village came to rejoice with them. The same women who once mocked Linda danced and sang in her compound. Peace returned to their home. Love grew even stronger. And from that moment, Linda and Joe promised never to allow fear or shame to rule their hearts again. They chose faith. They chose forgiveness. They chose love. Moral lessons. 1. Patience and faith are powerful. Sometimes the answer is closer than we think. 2. Desperation can lead us down dangerous paths. Always seek wisdom before acting. 3. A loving partner will stay by your side even in your worst moments. 4. Forgiveness can heal even the deepest wounds. 5. Never give up. Your story can still turn around for good. Thank you message. Thank you, dear viewers, for watching this emotional and powerful story. If you were touched by Linda and Joe's journey, please like, comment, and most importantly, subscribe to this channel. We have more deep, inspiring, and dramatic stories coming your way. Turn on your notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Stick with us, and let's keep growing together. God bless you all.